Here's Davis, and this one is hit way in the left center field, and this one is going to bounce off the wall. Spini's rounding second. He's going for three, and he's going to make it into third. So, Spini starts this inning off with a triple.
367 with one homer, 18 RBIs, senior year. This one smoked,
Gapper.
left center. Somebody's going shopping at the gap. Gets all the way to the wall. Spini, stand-up double.
Catalano set, and this one is hit into center fielder. Macaluso covering his eyes and can't catch up to it. It's going to sail over his head, and Spini's going to stop at second. Boy, nice job by Macaluso in center field on first place. And this one lifted by Spini into deep right field. Edgar going back, and he's going to watch this one sail over the wall. Big home run for Nick Spini. Falcons now down 6-4.
Beautiful. You don't often see home runs here. Pretty big stadium. You see a lot of triples, but he definitely cleared that right field wall.
Here's Davis, and this one is hit way in the left center field, and this one is going to bounce off the wall. Spini's rounding second. He's going for three, and he's going to make it into third. So, Spini starts this inning off with a triple.
367 with one homer, 18 RBIs, senior year. This one smoked,
Gapper.
left center. Somebody's going shopping at the gap. Gets all the way to the wall. Spini, stand-up double.
Catalano set, and this one is hit into center fielder. Macaluso covering his eyes and can't catch up to it. It's going to sail over his head, and Spini's going to stop at second. Boy, nice job by Macaluso in center field.
Well, thank you, sir. And now we got a very special guest, Nick Spini. How's it going, brother?
Pretty good. How are you?
So you guys got Marin coming up this Friday, big 3-game series. What's the approach going into the series?
Well, it's good and bad that we're facing Marin. We know what to expect, which is a good thing because we've played them 4 times this year. Unfortunately, our record against them isn't what we'd like it to be, but we've learned a lot each game about the way they play the game, their pitching style, everything about them. So that's the one thing we have is we know them. But the bad part is they know us. So
Yeah.
it's not going to be able to get a trick run when we pull a play in the late innings just to try to steal one because they've seen all of our stuff. So it's a great thing that we're in the playoffs. It's a great thing that we're playing anybody, but it's going to be interesting to play Marin this week.
So you guys going up against Ben Herrick at least one of the 3 games. And just talk about the approach going against that lefty because he's 2-1 against you guys, ERA under 1. He's pitched very well. He's pitched well all season long. Just kind of talk about the approach for you guys going up against him.
The thing about Herrick is he's good against lefties and righties. Usually you get a lefty who really dominates left-handed pitching or at least slows it down. But the thing about Herrick is I think he had equal strikeouts against us with our righties to our lefties. So he's a guy that's going to work both sides of the plate, going to work all 3 of his pitches. He's got a fastball, a good loopy change or curveball, and then a good changeup. So the approach for us is just going to be to have one. You got to go up there with a plan against a guy who's going to throw 3 pitches for strikes. You can't go up there and just be like, yeah, I'm going to react and see what happens. It's going to be, all right, early in the count, I'm looking fastball away. If I get behind, he's going to throw me that curveball or that changeup. But each guy has to decide before the game what I'm going to do, and if he pitches away from what I thought he was going to do, how I can react and change my approach to have a better at-bat next time. So for me, it's going to be look away early, probably. We'll see how he throws to Crosby. I have advantage because Crosby bats before me, so I see how he throws a lefty, first pitch deuce or something. I'll be able to see how he does that, but I'm going to be focused on fastballs early in the count on the outside half.
And most casual fans don't know how difficult it is when a pitcher is changing speeds, fastball to changeup. Just kind of talk about, as a hitter, how difficult that is to keep up with that. Well,
when a pitcher has a good fastball and a good changeup, what it does is, out of his hand, the 2 pitches look the same, but even a 3 to 4 mile an hour difference in speed is, a lot of time in between where I would start and finish my swing. So if he throws a fastball first pitch and say I'm on it, well, my timing is right for the fastball, but if he throws a changeup that's 3 miles an hour slower, just that little difference, I'm way out on my front foot, possibly lose my whole front half and not have a chance to hit the ball hard. So being able to mix speeds is important for any pitcher, our pitchers included. So I'm hoping that Pizzola or Anderson has a great changeup come Friday, and Herrick can't throw any secondary pitch is what we're hoping for.
And obviously I know you're a big team guy, but let's talk about Nick Spini for a sec here. You're the only Falcon that was first team all BVC this year, batted right under 300, had 1 homer, 25 RBIs, a slugging percentage at .500. Just Talk about the season that you had as one of the sophomore leaders for the Falcons.
Well, for me, I had a horrible, horrible beginning to the year. I think I was hitting 180 when we finished preseason, which is just absolutely atrocious in my book, or anybody's. Underneath the Mendoza line is never okay. So going into the BVC, I only got to play 5 of the 6 other teams. I didn't get to play everybody because I got hurt last year. So I was kind of remembering how they pitched me the year before, the guys that I played, and then kind of reacting to the guys I hadn't faced before. And the thing about what I was trying to do is, my goal all year was to knock in runs, which I did a good enough number, not a number that I was shooting for higher.
You have 8 RBIs in the last 6 games.
Yeah. Towards the end, I was a little warm with runners in scoring position, but I'm happy with the way the season ended up for the team.
Yeah.
And anything that I did to help us get where we are is just a bonus for me, because I wanted us to win every game, be the #1 team in the state, and that's not how it looks right now, but with a chance to go in the playoffs, who knows what's going to happen. If we can get hot like we got hot in that little game stretch before Laney's buzzsaw, we are going to be able to play against anybody.
And how hard was that last year, missing out on the playoffs by 1 game? I know you got hurt in the middle of the season, but did that help fuel the fire for you guys this year?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it was interesting because last year Laney knocked us out of the playoffs, so we kind of went into the same situation at Laney where they had a chance to do it again.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't knock us off, they knocked us down, but to beat it, that 1 game that we beat them in Laney was humongous for us because it ended up propelling us into the playoffs. So we used every game as fuel to the fire, because last year, we went against San Mateo last year, we beat Contra Costa away that one time they beat us last year, and that can be the difference in making the playoffs and not. So this year we used every negative thing that happened to us as a positive to move forward and be like, we're not having what happened last year happen again.
And do you think you guys had to end the season, on fire, because you guys on the bubble making the playoffs? Does that give you an edge now, though? It's like you've been in the playoffs for the last couple weeks already, and now you got this coming up this weekend.
It's kind of like we played like 5 or 6 one-game playoffs, where it was win or go home type situation. So I think as a team, we don't know the playoff atmosphere, if it's going to be different, if there's going to be a bunch of people there or not. There wasn't that many this year at our game, so we don't know a huge playoff situation. But as far as the game itself, I think we know what we have to do to win games. We have to just everybody's going to make mistakes, but it's going to be the team that makes the least amount of mistakes that can capitalize on the other team's mistakes the most. We're going to come out with victories. So for us, it's just we got to keep with our mentality of whoever is in our way that day is our last game of our lives, no matter who is playing, and we have to win that game.
How confident are you guys in Anderson and Pizzola this weekend?
I'm always confident in our pitching staff. I mean, Anderson and Pizzola, everybody has hiccups, but as far as our pitching staff is concerned, they have been strong throughout the year. So whoever throws Friday, I have the same confidence as whoever throws on Saturday, whether it be Pizzola, Anderson, or even Lamont, and if he gets a start, who knows. So I'm looking forward to them throwing, because in my opinion, they're 2 of the best pitchers in the conference.
So how happy were you waking up Sunday morning and seeing you guys were in the playoffs?
It was kind of a bittersweet thing, because I was really excited that we got in. It's unfortunate that we have to play a team in our own conference, because playoffs is kind of you want to play teams you've never seen before. That's kind of what makes it exciting. You don't know anything about them, and it's kind of like, oh, we're going to go travel to a place we've never played before. And that part of the game, the more of the extra stuff is missing. But as far as the game is concerned, we were ecstatic. All of the guys I was talking to, hanging out with, we were juiced that we get to play in the playoffs, because we did not want to be that team that 2 years in a row for the first time in 11 years, which Coach Stover has told us.
How many times he told you that?
He lets us know.
And let me get you out on this. What's the #1 approach going into Friday's game, 2 p.m. at Marin?
#1 approach offensively, I would say, is going to be to get on him early. He's a guy that can go the distance if you let him, but he also is a guy that'll go deep into counts. So if we can have a couple guys have 8, 9 pitch at bats in the first inning and get his pitch count to a higher point, they're not afraid to throw him 120, 130 pitches. But if we can get him high early in the game, get him tired, get him a little bit out of his game, we have a better chance of winning. And for us, pitching is going to be stay on top of their hitters, know what their weaknesses are, because we've got books on them now. We know what they can and can't do, and we just have to commit to our locations and make sure we don't make mistakes with runners in scoring position.
All right, Nick, thanks for your time, man, and best of luck this weekend, man. And Greg Pop coming right back in to wrap up the show.